Stacey. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here, which is probably more likely. I am an Open University student. I'm studying for a BA Honours in Childhood and Youth Studies with the Open University. I'm doing a part-time degree, so it's 6 years, and I've just finished year 2 of that, so my first full year of uni technically. I have studied module E102, that was my first year, and I've just completed module DE100, which is investigating psychology. What else do I need to say? First of all, I actually want to apologise. I know it's been a ridiculously long time since my last video. Some of this video will explain why that happened. And yeah, let's get into it. So let's get comfy. Okay, so I think in my last video I was so excited to start DE100, and I was really looking forward to doing a psychology module, and I couldn't wait. And a very long story short, I started a job in August, which was going to be a fixed term contract till April, just gone, end of April, and I thought it was all going to be okay. And I thought I could totally manage it because it was only a part-time job. My son was back at school. He wasn't being home educated anymore, so he was in a school. I thought, you know, I'll have plenty of time. I did not. It was more like a full-time job. I ended up having weeks and weeks of toil owed to me at the end because I was working so much that I couldn't even take the time off owed to me, or holiday. It was an eye-opening experience. It's one that I won't be re-experiencing or going back for any more, and part of that was that I set up my own community interest company, which is a non-profit organisation, because I wanted to make sure that some of the funding that's available to people to do work within communities actually goes to the community. So uni stuff that was hard. It was very hard. I thought I was going to start ahead, like I always do, so a couple of weeks before the official start date. That, as I'm sure I've said in other videos, I do that because I have fibromyalgia, and I'm a mum and a wife, and I've got pets, and things go wrong, and I get flare-ups, and I didn't do that. And it wasn't because I didn't want to do it. It wasn't necessarily a conscious choice where I thought, oh, it'll be fine. I didn't do it because I didn't have time, and I chose to prioritize my job. I regret that. I do regret that. But it happened, and it is what it is. In fact, I think I actually started about a week late. I was so busy, and I was setting up a brand new community hub, something that had never been seen before in this area, or even, to be honest, in a lot of areas. From what I'd heard, it was something very new. So it was all I could do to focus on that, and my family, and that was it. So yeah, it became all-encompassing, all-consuming, and my studies got put to the side. Shortly after, I think it was shortly after New Year, I called student services, support services, and I just said, look, I need to defer this module. Can I do that? What are my options? Can I start again in February? Because there was another sort of DE100 course starting in February, and they said to me, look, you've come this far. And I think I'd done think I'd done 2 TMAs by then, and they said, look, you know, you've come this far, you've got good grades in those, if you want to, you can miss this TMA, but because part of the TMA is writing up a report, so you're kind of doing one part in one report, one part in another, for another TMA, so it's like it's all done in sections. They said, you know, we don't advise that you miss it, but you can, and as long as you still do as well as you've done previously in those in the next couple of TMAs, or the EMA as well, then you'll be fine and you'll still pass. So I decided to give it a go, and I thought, you know what, I'll do TMA 03, which is a tutor marked assignment, the 3rd one. And I thought, you know, even if I just barely graze a pass, at least I've done it. And my tutor was super helpful, gave me an extension. I'm so grateful to them, because I honestly wouldn't have carried on if it wasn't for them. If they didn't give me that little nudge that I needed to just say, look, this is your first year, it's not the end of the world, your grades don't even go towards your final grade, that kind of thing, like, just do it, just get it passed. So from then on, so most of 2023 up till I just finished, I stopped playing catch up, because that was part of the problem. Is I was so far behind, and I was just trying to play catch up all the time, so I was always so far behind, and I just wrote that bit off and just started focusing on studying for the things that I needed for each TMA. Basically, for each assignment that I had an ICMA as well, which is like a little I think they call it an exam, but it's like a multiple choice questionnaire. So yeah, I just focused on what I needed to learn for those and just did that. So there is a chunk that I haven't even finished of the degree, well, of the learning, I guess, but I've finished all of the assignments, so I have technically finished it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go back over the summer and go through it all, because it's just my personality. It doesn't feel finished until I've done that. And you know, I paid a lot of money for that. I want to at least know what I was supposed to know from that. Yeah, so I managed to complete every single assignment, which I'm really proud of myself for, because whew, it was really tough, and I completely underestimated how difficult it was going to be a mum, a wife, have a job, be doing a degree, trying to continue on working in the community, having my own company, all of those things. I mean, when I say it out loud, duh, but yeah, I completely underestimated it. That will not be happening again this year. I have already selected my next module. I can't remember the code, but I think it's called Working with Children and Young People, something like that. It was a choice between that and another psychology module, which, I'll be honest, I didn't mind the investigating psychology side. There's a book called Investigating Psychology and a book called Investigating Methods, and you alternate them. There's also Investigating Intelligence at the beginning, but that's a tiny one. And I'll be honest, the Investigating Methods book was not for me, and it's because there are some mathematical things in there, statistical things, and although when you actually do them, they're not that difficult, and a lot of it's been done for you. They're not there to make it difficult. I just have this like mental block with maths and statistics and stuff like that. I just don't get on with it. I love the scientific method, I just don't like the maths that you have to do with it. I was never good at maths at school, and I genuinely think I just have this like mental, it's like I freeze every time I have to do anything with it, because I doubt myself. Yeah, did not enjoy that book at all, even though that, like I say, that was more in my head. yeah, I think for me, I've definitely picked the right option. The working with children and young people, sort of, what do they call it, like a synopsis type thing, that I read about it looks exactly what I'm looking for. It's exactly what I'm doing in my work life anyway. I say work life, is my own company, and it's not, doesn't feel like work. I'm certainly not making any money from it. So yeah, it's some of the like volunteer work basically that I'm doing in the community, so it feels really relevant, and I think I'll really enjoy it, and I think that's where my strengths are as well. And I am really looking forward to starting early and not making that same mistake again, and yeah, just really getting back into the student mindset, because I think I really got out of that. And actually it was March time, I think, I don't know, sometime earlier in the spring, I was invited to a student consultation, which I really didn't have time for, but I'm so glad I went. I'm so glad it was around the time when I just found student support services and things like that, and I thought to myself, I feel so disconnected from the student experience. Again, not because of the course, not because of the degree, not because of the OU, because of me and my situation. And I thought I really needed to reconnect myself, and it was so good. It was such a good day. I really enjoyed it, and I honestly, if anyone's watching this who ever gets an opportunity to do something like that, you really should go for it. It was really eye-opening, and I got to meet so many other students. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Also, some of the tutorials were in person this year. I live quite close to the Milton Keynes campus, so that's where I went. And yeah, like I say, it was just, I really enjoyed just being there and feeling like it sounds so silly, but feeling like a real student when I was there. So yeah, that's a very small update. I'm aware that this is going on a bit, so I don't want to overload you with too much information, but I know that there were some people that were asking about how I was finding DE 100 and things like that, and I wanted to just be really open and honest. I want this to be kind of a record of what's been going on, and obviously when you're so busy that you barely have time to do your normal daily activities, there's just no time to pick up a camera. So I'm hoping that now I'll have plenty more time to pick up a camera. And you know, we've just got some chickens, new chickens. We got them from baby chicks, so maybe I'll do some little videos that are a bit more fun and less studenty. But also I'm looking forward to doing some videos about, like, I've just done a desk makeover, what my favourite stationery items are, because I love that, like what my planning method is, because although I really struggled last year, that is something I've really got into recently, is planning, and I'm finding it like quite a good creative outlet as well. So maybe I'll share some of that and just some like more everyday stuff, because I really enjoy making these, and I think it would be really nice to have this as a kind of like a living memory of whatever the next 4 years brings, because I wasn't expecting what happened this year to happen. So we'll see what happens and go from there. But yeah, I don't want to forget this, and I think this was a really important lesson this year. So there's lots to take away from it for me, and hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes and not do the same thing, and not overextend yourself, and focus on the things that really matter to you, which is you, hopefully. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. I know it's a long one, and it's very chatty, but like I say, I just wanted to update everybody and then I can go from there. So thank you again so much, and yeah, I'd love to have a chat with you down in the comments, so come and say hi. Thank you so much, guys. You take care. Bye.